With the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daft on Draft podcast. I am your host, Dalton Miller, joined as always by my co-host, Corey Kinnan. And we are pushing off the running backs another day. They are so terrible that we had to stop watching them just a few in and just give ourselves a day to rest, relax, and talk about some college football awards predictions, obviously, because they haven't played any football, so we can't be giving them awards yet. We will talk about the biggest awards in college football. We will talk about the watch list a little bit. We will bring out some deep sleepers in this. And I was joking about the running backs somewhat. We already talked about the great ones on the team previews. So if you would like to hear about the best of the best, that's where you go. The team previews. The rest of the gang is pretty rough overall, but we will get to that when we get to that. First, got to ask, before Corey heads off to a softball game, how are you feeling about your prospects tonight?
Yeah, I feel good. It's been a long week for me. It's only Tuesday, and it feels like it's been a long week. I've had an audit at work. My kid's been sick. A lot going on. But, yeah, I got some softball tonight with the boys.
Sick too?
Yeah.
And my kid's got a fever of 101. I just found that out about 10 minutes ago.
Lovely stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Kids,
gonna crack open some beers with the boys tonight at softball and kick it back a little bit. So I'm excited for that. But I'm excited to dive into this. This is a good time here.
It is, because the college football season is about to start. We are heading into week 0, so we might as well talk about these college football predictions. And we are going to finish with the Heisman. Okay.
Yes.
Going to finish with the Heisman. We're going to start with the quarterbacks, though. The Davey O'Brien Award for the best quarterback in college football.
Yeah.
This one, and do we just want to let's do the Heisman first, because because at the end of the day, the Davey O'Brien winner is probably going to win the Heisman anyways,
typically.
And let's talk about insulation and how important that is, and how important talent is as well, because Arch Manning has all of it. He has probably the best or a top 5 structured offense in college football, with an SEC pipeline for recruiting, and a great play caller on top of that, talent all around him, and he has all the physical abilities in the world. I would be surprised if Arch doesn't win the Heisman this year.
You'd be surprised if he doesn't.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think,
like, I would still take the field if I was betting, like,
right,
the field or Arch, but I
mean, it's all there.
The talent, man. I know it was like 100 snaps, but man, he was good.
And I've had scouts tell me already that have been to Texas this summer, like, yeah, he looks the part. Pre-snap wise, they're giving him a lot more than they gave to Ewers. He's getting his eyes in the right spot in practice, things like that. Like, and did you hear what he said today? Somebody asked him, he had a presser today, and they were like, so your grandpa came out and said, like, you're going back to Texas no matter what. And he said, I don't know where he got that from. I'm just taking it day by day, more or less. So, like, well, maybe we should talk about Arch a little bit more.
I don't think so.
But
I think he's just playing the game.
Yeah, he might be. But it's going to be really hard, though, dude, if he wins the Heisman in the SEC and Texas wins a national championship, for him to be like, yeah, I'll go back and do that again. Like,
yeah,
what does he have to accomplish, you know?
Yeah, if Texas wins a national championship and he wins the Heisman, I could see him going. But that was kind of the parameters that we set at the beginning of all of this. Anyway,
right.
So.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we talked a lot about insulation. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you aren't insulated with that talent, like, it's not going to happen, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, Travis Hunter's the easy Heisman winner, right? Because he was a top player in the country on both sides of the football. That feels
I mean, I wouldn't call him an easy Heisman winner, because you had a running back who had a hell of a year.
Well, that's fair.
It was a little bit tougher, but yeah, I mean,
this year there isn't like a guy outside of Manning who we can say, and we only say Manning because of the last name, the pedigree, SEC schedule, all of the talent in the world, like all the stuff that you hit on, Arch is the easy one here. If he is the guy that everybody thinks that he is, and from what he showed us, like he very well could be, then he's the easy one.
Jeremiah Love is number 2 on the list for me. If he's able to stay healthy and he gets the ball enough in that backfield, I mean, he is so damn talented.
Yeah.
And it's Notre Dame, and they have the schedule too. If he has a couple of big games against those bigger opponents, he could really make a splash. Cade is right there. That football team is incredible as well. And then if Ohio State can get the quarterback play necessary, Jeremiah Smith is probably the best player in college football. So there's always that possibility that he pulls a Devontae Smith. And if I were him, man, and I know that it has not happened. I know it hasn't happened. And
outside
it only
year.
Happened because of the COVID year. But man, I'm opting out.
I'm
opting out. If I win the Heisman as a sophomore at wide receiver and I'm 6'3", 220, nobody can cover me. I know I'm going to make $5 million going back to Ohio State, but man, I'm going to make a lot more money if I sit out and go to the NFL.
I'm actually freelancing a piece on this in the near future, so I'm pretty excited to run that out. But yeah, I think those are the big four when we talk about opportunity. Like, look at what Jeremiah Smith did with a quarterback where Ohio State just said, like, we just need you to do the bare minimum. Like, we just need you to do. Now, Julian's saying, again, does he have a high-level arm? Like, I haven't seen it from, like, the spring games and things like that, or the opportunity, like, the limited opportunities he's had. But, like, I think Sane can play point guard at a much higher level and distribute at a much higher level than Will Howard did. So, like, opportunity is definitely going to be there.
Yeah, his name is spelled wrong, but I love his name as a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. So.
Love it. So, yeah, let's go to the Davy now. So let's talk about quarterbacks. So we've talked about Cade. We've talked about Arch. Those guys are going to repeat here. We have two more that should be insulated very well. And then I added a little bit of a long shot on here as well. So I think we have to talk about Garrett Nussmeier just because of all of the wide receivers that LSU transferred in around him.
Yeah.
Like Barryon Brown, Nick Anderson. Like they brought in speed on speed on speed for him, around him, and guys who can produce after the catch, because we kind of saw some deficiencies throwing the ball down the field. It picked up a little bit at the end of the season. And then he has Chris Hilton back as well. He has Aaron Anderson back as well. So like this is a wide receiver room that should be able to put up numbers. Now, they did transfer in like 3 new starters along their offensive line. That could be an issue. But Nuss, he's going to have all, and another thing with Nuss is like he's just not afraid to let the football rip.
Yes.
So like
he's not afraid to let the football rip, and he does have a little bit of that like Tony Romo-esque pocket magic to him, where he's able to create within the pocket a little bit. Mm-hmm. He also has the bad parts of Tony Romo in his game as well. I'm
a little bit lower on his pocket stuff than some others are, but for sure he's got some stuff there. Fernando Mendoza is the other one transferring from Cal to Indiana. This one is fairly easy for me, just seeing the chasms that Curtis Rourke threw into, and then Mendoza has twice the arm as Rourke. Mendoza's twice the athlete as Rourke, who's playing on a torn ACL last year. Like, so I think the opportunity for Mendoza to, for me again, I saw the Mendoza tape and I saw the high level IQ that didn't necessarily translate in the high level ball placement that didn't necessarily translate to a box, like into the box score. I think it'll have a much easier time translating into the box score this year at Indiana.
Absolutely. And that organization is turned it around completely in the course of,
dude, they're landing like
24 months.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And then I did add a long shot here. We talked a little bit about Dante Moore, and yesterday's episode talked about a little about Dante Moore off of air. Just what Dylan Gabriel's been able to do, what Bo Nix have been able to do. And I think Dante Moore's more like physically talented than both those guys.
Yeah.
Again, Dante Moore's extremely young, and Oregon hasn't even officially named him the starter yet between him and Austin Novosad. So like, yeah, it's a long shot, but like Oregon insulates their quarterbacks very well because they ask them to just distribute. Again, Dylan Gabriel had the lowest ADOT in the country last season. So like, but that also, then I think Dante Moore has the ability to kind of take the top off at a higher level too, and use his legs at a higher level. So now he doesn't have the offensive talent around him that you would hope for. I mean, they have Decorian Moore, who's a true freshman animal, and then Kenyon Sadiq, but Evan Stewart going down for the season, and then that really just like a bunch of journeyman wide receivers around him could prove to be prohibitive. But if Oregon insulates Dante Moore the way they insulated Bo Nix and Dylan Gabriel, we could be cooking with something there as well.
Yeah. The Biletnikoff. It's Jeremiah Smith and others. However, we both believe that the best wide receiver in this upcoming class potentially is Arizona State's Jordan Tyson. And he is a quarterback who is the reincarnation of Brett Favre on the field. So he's going to get targets, and he is going to do a lot with those targets because he has fantastic body control. And he's a fantastic finisher around the sideline in contested situations. And so he is going to make those highlight plays. Now, he can't make those highlight plays like 6'3", 220-pound Jeremiah Smith can. We're looking at Julio Jones 2.0 there. But he is a fantastic player overall.
Yeah. The thing with Tyson is that he's missed a lot of games in his college career as well. So like Tyson's got to stay on the field. A couple maybe deeper-ish sleepers, but
I don't think Surratt's a deep sleeper here. I think that he has a legitimate chance to have a monster year in Indiana.
Yeah, and then if we're talking about Arch, we have to talk about who I perceive as Texas's best wide receiver, and one who legit runs in the 4.2s. Yeah. Gets manufactured touches in space, can take the top off vertically. So I think Ryan Wingo's also we have to talk about, if we're going to talk about Arch putting up big numbers, he's got to throw the football to somebody, and that somebody would be the benefactor of some big numbers too. So I think Ryan Wingo off the rip maybe.
When did Sark take over at Texas? What year was that?
2022.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
So
2021. 2021.
Was it 2021? So it was before Devontae's Heisman year. Okay.
Yeah, he was Devontae's the offensive coordinator. Yep.
Okay. Then he would have went to Texas in 22, right?
No, because Mac
was Devontae 20?
They were 20. Yeah, because they were in the 2021 draft. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 2021 draft. That's
they blew out Ohio State in the Natty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do Doak Walker next. I know it's different on our spreadsheet, but let's do Doak Walker next, then hit Mackey.
Yeah,
dude, we're so down on this running back class, man. It's tough to find.
It's Jeremiah. The problem is the really good running backs in this class are there's paired on the same football teams, like Wisner and Baxter and Singleton and Allen and the two Oregon dudes together as well.
A little bit there, yeah.
But they're both going to touch the ball. That's the problem.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I don't see anybody this year taking carries away from Jeremiah Love, as long as he's able to stay on the field. I think, maybe look at Justice Haynes, just because, what I watched, and I literally just watched him today. He got 6 touches a game at Alabama, and 5 of them were for -5 yards to 2 yards. And then the other one that he had was for 40 yards, 3 broken tackles, and 4 missed tackles. It just an insanely explosive big play athlete who just didn't have space most of the time in that run game, which is insane to me. But also just hasn't shown a lot overall. So get him 20 touches a game. Let's see what he can do for Michigan's offense.
What about a player who I don't think either of us are as high as others as a prospect, but is going to be in a flashy offense with Washington State's head coach moving over to Wake Forest and will be a pseudo bell cow, like Damon Claiborne. He'll put up some flashy plays on tape, but I don't know.
He's just... It's Wake Forest. I don't think they're not going to be good enough for him to.
Yeah, I think I agree there.
To have that kind of impact.
All right, so Mackey, we put down 4 names for the Mackey Best Tight End Award here.
Yeah,
this one's tough, man, because again, when we talked about tight ends, there isn't a Brock Bowers tight end in this class. There's not a Tyler Warren, Colson Loveland tight end in this class. So this is where you really have to seek out opportunity. Which players are on teams that they're going to be the primary target.
The guy who we think is the best tight end in the class right now isn't even on our list.
Correct, because he plays at Ohio State and he's got 3 other receivers he's got to fight through to get
And
touches.
Ohio State has never thrown the ball to the tight end.
Yeah, I mean they haven't had a draftable tight end in a little while. I mean, I guess Cade Stover went 4th round. They haven't had a high end tight end in a little while, I should say.
I was going to say that was Cade Stover disrespect right
I know
there.
that's a high end receiving threat tight end in a little while.
Don't you disrespect my farm boy.
That's fine. Cade Stover went to my high school's rival high school. We're from the same county. I don't know if you knew that, but Mr. Football in Ohio that year. He's a lot younger than us, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So we put down 4 names here. We got 2 in the SEC, 1 in the Big Ten, and one G5 guy here. So, I mean, we have to start with Oscar Delp because
it's Georgia.
Voters just love Georgia tight ends.
Well, no, I mean Georgia gets the ball to their tight ends.
Yeah, I thought Delp's tape was better than his box score set as well, especially down to the end of the year. I thought he really struggled early in the season, but you get to like that late season tape is pretty good, and he's pretty explosive off the line of scrimmage. So, I'm hoping he puts it together. Eli Stowers is the other SEC one. Again, he's going to be Vanderbilt's primary pass catcher.
Yeah.
And so he's best friends with the quarterback, right? They came from New Mexico State together. Like they're best friends. He's the reason that Stowers is still in school. Like Stowers probably could have gone day 2 this past year because he's anticipated to test like jump in the 40s around the 4.4s. So like teams are going to love that.
Yeah.
So Stowers is going to get opportunities. So is Kenyon Sadiq. We talked about Kenyon Sadiq 100%. Already earlier because Evan Stewart tore his ACL. Kenyon Sadiq, like Terrence Ferguson, is with the Los Angeles Rams now. They already last year on like 30 catches, I would say, like what did he have, like 20 to 30 catches last year? And probably 2/3 of them were screens and manufactured touches. So like he's already a player they know is supremely explosive and they're trying to get the football into his hands. And now he's the starting tight end and probably, again, outside of Takorian Moore, who's a true freshman, their most natural pass catcher as well at Oregon. So like, the opportunity is going to be there for Kenyon Sadiq. The last one comes with a caveat here, and we put John Michael Gillenborg on the list mainly because he's also going to be Wyoming's primary pass catcher. But the caveat here is that Harold Fandon Jr. just put up the most productive season from a tight end in college football history and didn't win the Mackey. So if there's a P4 tight end that's even close in production, that's even close, they're more than likely going to give it to the P4 guy. I think the last G5 guy to win it was Harrison Bryant, right? But like that 2019 group of tight ends was not great. The 2020 class of tight ends was not good. So I put Gillenborg on here because, again, Wyoming, he is the guy they're going to build their offense around through the passing game. He should, again, he had a high ankle sprain last year. Should, as long as he's on the field, see an uptick in opportunity. That really feels like the four players to have the conversation about right here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have to really rack my brain to think of another tight end to put on this list.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, moving to the defensive side of the ball here. Jim Thorpe, best defensive back. This was another one we really struggled to throw some names on the list for, outside of the top 2 guys.
Yeah, it's McCoy, Downs, and I mean that's kind of it for what we see here. We don't really know where else to go, and at the end of the day, I think Thorpe is going to come down to who's able to produce the most ball production, and that's probably not going to be McCoy. Downs will have a better opportunity in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon, moving to Oregon, being around the football a little bit more instead of in outer space, might give him some more opportunities. But it's hard to kind of pin it down because we might see a guy from Western Michigan have 11 interceptions and win it. Like it's just kind of the way it is with this, and maybe they just give it to the best defensive back and it ends up just being McCoy or Downs by default.
So I will say with the Jim Thorpe Award, this seems to be the award that voters just tend to go with the most name recognition. Because voters struggle to
watch football.
Yeah. Secondary play, especially. So, like, I mean, I guess that's not necessarily true looking over the past winters, but like, I'm thinking back to 2019 where Grant Delpit was hurt a lot of the season. And then when he did play, he didn't have the best tape. And Jeff Okuda had like really stellar tape at
Mhm.
corner at Ohio State, and they gave it to Delpit. I will also say, like, I mean, like 2023 Air Force safety won it. Trey Taylor won it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's a little bizarre. But outside of that, we're talking about
Yeah, like what happens when
big time programs, big time names.
what happens when Wachovia gets 7 interceptions at SMU and they make the playoffs again? Like,
They might look at ball production and be like, "Well, most interceptions. He's the best
yeah,
QB." You know,
that's what I'm saying.
did very well. But all that to say, like, I think we have built Caleb Downs up on this pedestal already since he's a true and like deservedly so for the most part. Like that, we might get to the end of the season next year and voters might just go with the familiar face, the familiar
Yep.
name, as long as Downs doesn't have like an awful season. So.
Yep.
Outland. So the Outland Trophy has always been a weird one to me because it goes to the best trench player, but it could be an offensive or defensive trench player. So that one's a little weird. And we struggled to put defensive trench players on here. We got 2, but then 4 offensive linemen on our list here.
Yeah, and I think a good one here that is a little bit of a sleeper is Brailsford.
I think Parker Brailsford is a good one to mention.
Centers don't know if he'll be able to do enough or if that team is going to be good enough. But like I would probably think because he has less competition at center than somebody like Proctor is going to be fighting against Fano and Lomo. I think Brailsford might be the best big name in college football when it comes to that position. So
I think it's a really good shout.
A good opportunity to win that award.
Yep. Again, the Utah duo, Spencer Fano, Caleb Lomu, probably deserve a little bit of conversation there. Because, again, with offensive line play as well, you would be surprised how many voters go to PFF, look at pass blocking grade.
Don't be surprised if Trevor Gooseby comes up and wins this one as well. It's been Texas the last 2 years, so.
I would also say, again, this guy's tape is not very good, and he's got day 3 grades across the board, and is very much a day 3 player. But Jake Slaughter is an All-American with really high PFF grades. You could see some voters just like throwing Jake Slaughter some votes too. Defensively, we put down Peter Woods and Zane Durant as like the 2 who have the most opportunity to produce.
Yeah. The one thing that we didn't bring up was the Butkus Award, but we didn't write that one down.
Yeah. That one feels really broad to say the best defensive player.
No, Butkus is linebacker.
Oh, you're right. We didn't.
Yeah, we did defensive player.
Well, let's just do that one on the fly. Let's do Butkus on the fly right now.
Because there's some fun linebackers in this class. At some very big schools. You're seeing Anthony Hill get a lot of love, not from us. But Deontay Lawson could produce at a really high level for Alabama, as an NFL draft prospect, not as much, but really good football player overall, and he's an Alabama linebacker. So he will get flagged for medicals at the combine. Sonny Styles is the name with CJ Allen. That those 2 are the ones that really draw my attention the most.
I will throw out one more, Bryce Betcher as well. People love a little quirked up white boy who
I actually
will rack up a ton of solo tackles.
I actually love Bryce as well.
I think he plays shot out of a cannon. I don't understand why people are so low on Bryce.
He's a really good, and he's a really good baseball player too. I actually just want to talk to him.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun one to talk to. And Eric Gentry. Yeah, I just want to bring him up because he's just such a fun player.
He's weird, dude.
He's just such a fun player.
6'6",
he's just like 6'7",
like,
250. Yeah, he's just such a weird player.
He's a small forward.
He's a lot of fun. Yeah, he is a small forward.
Yeah.
And then the LSU guys, Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins. You'll hear Harold Perkins a lot.
Harold Perkins has a good year. He'll get votes.
Yeah. But is he playing linebacker again, or is he playing?
He's playing like star. So like overhang. Yeah. Yeah, we knocked that out on the fly. That was awesome. All right, Bednarik. So this one's the best overall defensive player. So again, Caleb Downs probably leads the conversation here because everybody talks about Caleb Downs. I think Peter Woods is probably right there too. And then again, from a production perspective, Sonny Styles, CJ Allen.
Yeah.
Probably the four to start that conversation with.
Yeah. I mean, watching Sonny Styles play football is so much
It's so much fun, man.
And if he's able to reel in a 2 or 3 interceptions on top of being all over the field, he has a chance, man.
He does.
He has a chance.
And let's see. So Travis Hunter obviously won it. Travis Hunter. That's an outlier. So I'm going to scratch him off the list. As like outside of that, from 2018 to 2023, it's either been a linebacker or a defensive tackle or an edge rusher.
Yeah.
So I think linebacker is a great place to start the conversation. And again, we don't love this edge class. So there's not an edge rusher that's like I would throw on this list.
Yeah. I mean,
so that would leave me Sonny Styles, CJ Allen,
Peter Woods, and Zane Durant. Really, like I'm going to bring up Durant again just because he is a gap penetrating 3 technique type who should be able to produce quite a bit of behind the back or behind the line of scrimmage production. Tackles for losses. I mean, things of that nature are going to jump out at voters. Now
with Jimmy Knowles too. So, but again, Caleb Downs, I think we have to talk about Caleb Downs because the name recognition will continue to ring very
he will get recognition for the things that he does outside of purely playing defense as well, because he is such a good return man as well. And even though we don't care about that for a defensive award, it will infect the way that voters feel, even if subconsciously.
Ooh, I just thought of a deep sleeper for the Thorpe Award. Going back to DBs here.
Who?
Xavier Scott.
You know, I thought about him as I was going through, and then his
highlight reel is awesome.
I just thought, he's fun, man. He takes me back. Those feet are a lot of fun. But it's Illinois, and I just don't think.
Yeah, Devon Witherspoon didn't even win it in that outrageous year he had. With Illinois. So
God, he was awesome.
He was. He's so good,
talk about being shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, dude. All right, man.
That's
we
it.
That out.
We did.
If you guys have any others, just shout in the Discord. Be like, you guys are idiots for not mentioning this player.
Shout in the Discord. Shout in the YouTube comments.
Who do we miss?
Yes, who did we miss in all of this?
Yeah. All right, but I think that's all we got, man.
That is. I mean, I love you guys. Well, other than that,
we got week 0. We'll be back with a little recap if there's anything to talk about on that Monday episode. Maybe a briefer recap on Monday. But outside of that, I think that's all we got, man. So we will talk about these running backs. I don't know how thoroughly if we'll get to all 10 because again, this class has been kind of rough. But we're gonna fight through and talk about the majority of these guys on this list. But again, we had to push back a little bit. This audit at work has killed me, but we'll get there. But until next time, this has been another episode of the Daft on Draft podcast.
When you're separating from the military, no one tells you how hard it can be to get your civilian life up to speed. But with VA benefits, it doesn't have to be. From the VA home loan requiring no down payment, to the GI Bill covering tuition, books, and cost of living, to VA healthcare offering top-ranked, low-cost care designed specifically for veterans. All the support you need is at VA. I'm here telling every veteran because I wish someone had told me. Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.